Hi, my name is Jan McCoy. I'm with the Oregon Department of Education. I wanted to talk about preparing the 2018 Plan for High School Success, formerly known as Measure 98. High school success is intended to improve student progress toward graduation. This will be tracked by freshmen on track, by improved graduation rates, and by improved college and career readiness. In this video, we're going to outline the reporting requirements for 17-18. We're going to talk about the requirements for eligibility for 18-19 and beyond. We're also going to talk about the interaction of eligibility and the coming planning. And also we'll talk about what we're actually referring to as a self-assessment rather than eligibility, and the plan. First, there are no planned data submissions for the 17-18 school year. There's no anticipated final report. ODE will go out to some of the districts, probably over the telephone, to collect information on what districts are doing to create a collective report. More of a temperature of the work than a complete report. The plans for the 18-19 school year will give us some insight as well into what districts are doing and where they're headed with their work. Wanted to get in up front that if you're looking for more information about high school success, you would want to look at oregon.gov/ODE and search for high school success. If you want to receive information pushed to you rather than looking at it on the website, you can contact me, jan.mccoy@state.or.us, and that'll be repeated on screen later. And I can add you to a listserv we're using, which is not seeing a great deal of traffic. It wouldn't create much of a burden to you in emails, probably 2 to 3 emails a month, updating you on Measure 98. To move on to 18-19, you will be expected to complete a self-assessment. This does two things. It establishes eligibility, and it also will help to determine first steps. We're really intending this not as an eligibility document, although the law does outline eligibility requirements, and we'll talk about those in a moment. But we're really seeing it more as something for needs assessment. It's not a thorough needs assessment, and you certainly would be encouraged to do a more thorough needs assessment. But we're asking that you complete this self-assessment to find out what the needs are. Then you'll be asked to create a plan based on that self-assessment and the identified needs. You'll be expected to submit the self-assessment by January 31st of 2018, but you can submit earlier if you'd like, and we'll be working to get feedback on the self-assessments out as soon as we can get them. Similarly, you'll be asked to submit a plan of activities by March 31st of 2018, but if you'd prefer to turn it in earlier so that you can get earlier feedback, you're certainly welcome to do so. We're looking for flexible submission on both of these. Equity is a tremendously important aspect of our work in high school success. An equity lens, which is actually based on a document available on our website, will be applied in the review of both the self-assessment and the plan itself. Plans for improved outcomes must extend to those students for whom the current system is not working. Need for services to traditionally underserved students should be identified through the self-assessment and any additional needs assessment you might do. The needed services should be included in the plan, and in fact, the review of the plan will include a comparison of the identified needs in the self-assessment and activities outlined in your plan. Eligibility is important in this. First, are services in place for all of your students? Are services equitably provided to all students? Are services matched to student needs? Are teachers engaged in identifying and evaluating services needed by students? And finally, are students supported in their transitions from grade to grade, from school to school, in course selection and assignment, and in progress toward graduation? Eligibility specifically includes a requirement for teacher collaboration meetings in which teachers of students in 9th grade meet to discuss student progress and to discuss what might be done to enhance that progress. It also requires that you have a thorough program of practices to reduce chronic absenteeism, that you have equitable assignment to advance coursework, that you have systems ensuring on-time graduation, and that you engage in partnerships with organizations and individuals in your community that can enhance the outcomes. The self-assessment, which is due out around November the 15th and will be due back to the ODE by January the 31st, will be used to establish eligibility, but more importantly, it sets a baseline for further work. Eligibility must be a part of your future work. That is to say, you don't have to have all of the eligibility requirements in place, but rather, as you begin the work, eligibility work has to be included in that effort. Included among the eligibility requirements is access to data. If teachers are going to meet to talk about student progress, they're going to need access to data that describes that progress. So we're going to ask that a number of elements be rated on a 6-point scale, ranging from you're not collecting the data at all to data are in place and effective reports disaggregated by student groups are available and are actually used by teachers and staff in frequent collaborative meetings. For any data points that are not currently at the 6th level, plans must include activities to get access to these data and to enhance its use. The sorts of data elements we're going to be talking about have to do with student engagement and progress, college and career readiness, and student supports. Eligibility is foundational to your planning. It's intended to provide data to support collaborative teacher review of progress and outcomes so that they can make decisions about what they can do to better support students. It's intended to provide systems to reduce chronic absenteeism, to support practices to equitably assign students to advanced coursework, and to provide systems ensuring course selection leading to on-time graduation. These are intended as systemic issues, not individual student work. That is, how is the system supporting students generally as they move forward? Once again, the purpose of this is to maintain freshmen on track, to move students toward graduation, and to have them graduate ready for college and career. The law has a number of requirements relative to the plan. We've already talked about eligibility. It also has requirements relative to services provided. It requires sufficient time for teacher collaboration supported by the needed data so that the teachers can work to identify problems that are inherent in the system that can be overcome to improve student outcomes. It calls for an effort to reduce chronic absenteeism, which has been identified as a significant factor in student non-completion of high school. It requires equitable assignment to courses so that all students have access to the courses they need to become college and career ready. It requires an effort to ensure on-time graduation for all students. And all of these are addressed as eligibility within the self-assessment. The law goes on to call for program establishment or expansion, depending on the funding level of the individual district or charter school, in career technical education, college-level opportunities, and dropout prevention. It also calls for partnerships, where appropriate, with local employers, the tribal governments, and other organizations and agencies that might be interested in the outcomes for students in your area. Finally, it calls for a multi-year plan. This means initially at least a 3-year plan, although ongoing we're expecting that there'll be a 4-year plan. This is all part of the required program offerings, and these are addressed in the planning tool itself. All of this will be part of your final plan as you create your action plan for moving forward over the next 3 years. Plan format, we have to address all eligibility issues. We have to establish or expand offerings in these areas. We have to offer short, medium, and long-term outcomes. And we anticipate the format for that will be either a video or completion of an online form. That's a selection at the district or charter school level. And an accompanying logic model regardless of the other format you're using, so that we can have a clear description of what it is you're trying to accomplish and how you intend to go about accomplishing it. These will all be reviewed by peers in a peer review exercise, which will start as plans come in, which we anticipate may be as early as January 15th. All plans are due by March 31st. If you're looking for additional resources, once again, you can find them by going to oregon.gov/ODE and search for high school success, or you can contact me directly via email, jan.mccoy@state.or.us, and ask to get onto the High School Success listserv. Thank you for viewing this video. I appreciate your attention. And if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at jan.mccoy@state.or.us. I look forward to hearing from you.